advise people that whatever happens, even if you don't brush that day, just do one question.
Welcome back to Interns and Beyond. It's been a long time. This is the first episode of me, and I have Diksha today with me. So Diksha is again from Manipal, Jaipur. We've done a couple of podcasts with people from Manipal, and they've been pretty good podcasts. So I'd like to introduce Diksha first. So Diksha has basically done two internships. So she's in her fourth year. She's going to graduate in a couple of months. She's done an internship at Microsoft as a SDE intern, and she has done a internship at Atlassian as a SWE intern, and she's gotten PPOs from both those companies. And apart from that, she's also done some other internships apart from these two major internships. And you'll get to know a bit about her journey through this podcast. And I'd also like to mention that Diksha has also done a couple of more podcasts before this. So she's came in Arsh Goel's podcast. He's really popular. I've even followed his content for a long time now. So yeah, you guys can also check that out. I'll attach links to that. So yeah, Diksha, thank you so much for sparing some time. It would be nice if you could just introduce yourself to the audience and I'll let them know a bit about you.
Thank you so much, Aparime, for calling me here so that we could collaborate and contribute to your content as well. And whosoever is watching our content gets insightful information from your podcast, and we could add value to their, the journey they are having. So, I'm Diksha Dwivedi, as you mentioned earlier, and you introduced me. So yeah, we'll see that if today we can add some value to our juniors or from our same batchmates. Yeah.
Okay. So Diksha, before like going into your internship journeys and all that, how are you as a student like in 10th and 12th? A lot of people are like curious about that. They think that people that get internships are always those 99 or 98% toppers. They're like smart from grade 12, and that's why they were able to get the internship. So yeah, how was your journey before entering college?
I was a like above average student, but I was not a topper. Above average student means I was just between the average students and the topper students. So I was not a backbencher, not a front bencher, but I sat so like I seated in the middle seats of the class, and I was like. I was so sure that I will be doing well in studies. I took studies seriously, but not that much. I also enjoyed my school life, and I learned a lot of things during my school life, but I was no so much passionate towards studies. That was not my case. My friends were. My friend circle from the beginning was really very nice, and they were toppers, and because of them only I think I was also a bit towards studies. So yes, friend circle really matters. Because of that I got a good percentage in 10th and 12th because I was focused towards it. Not that much good, but yes, I was satisfied. My parents were satisfied. For taking science, uh, I was not 100% sure that science is a cup of my tea, but history and commerce were something which I was not familiar with, like geography, history, civics, political science, and all. That was something which I thought that I have to learn a lot. I mean, there was much to study in that, and science was something which there was also a lot to study in science, but it was really interesting for me to study maths, biology, or physics, chemistry. So yes, I took science, and my fifth optional subject was web development. So in my school, luckily we had 11 fifth subjects. If you know about that, we have to choose the fifth subject. So I had options of 11 subjects, so I chose web development. I don't know why. I don't remember why I took that subject, but I thought that it's a new subject, so I should try. And eventually, it developed my web development skills in the 11th, 12th only. But I was not familiar with C++ or Java till the time of 12th. I was just familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yeah, so this was my like journey till 12th. I was an above average student.
So that was nice to hear because most people have that sort of story with HTML or CSS or web development is something that they usually offer in 11th or 12th. In some colleges, they have Python as well, I think, in some places
Yes,
like before 11th and 12th. And people sort
but
of.
in yeah, but in ICSE schools, I guess they are having Java from class 8th.
Okay.
So they are familiar with Java from 8th in ICSE branches.
Okay, so that is something. So I wanted to know, now that you talked about C and C++, like you mentioned, you weren't really familiar with these sort of programming languages. So when did you become familiar with these languages, and when did someone tell you that you're supposed to do DSA or something like that? Because that is what I've heard throughout my podcast mostly, is they started to learn a language and then they got to know that there's something called DSA. You're supposed to solve questions on different sort of platforms, and that will be asked in the interviews. That is mostly what I've heard from a lot of people. So was that the same thing with you? Like you got to know about DSA, and if you did, like how did you like dive into DSA and all of that?
Uh, Starting off taking BTech, I was uh, I was like सब ले रहे हैं तो ले लेती हूँ ऐसे I was that kind of mindset. I never thought of becoming an engineer. One thing I googled on internet that how to get job easily, like the first in very less amount of years. So BTech was one of the courses which like gave you job opportunity, because I want to be like become financially independent a bit earlier. I was after money, which shouldn't be the case for all the students, but that was my case when I did not join BTech. Like after my 12th, I had to decide that whether I have to take drop or some other degree. My father is also an engineer, so he did not hesitate any time that yes, you can go for engineering. He did not reluctantly said that don't opt for engineering. So my parents were okay with that, and I was also like, after 4 years definitely I'm going to get a job and money and then my own money. So I was so fascinated with money. That's why I took BTech. And for that I searched that which degree would be the best, like which course would be best. So I took computer science. So I had no idea about the packages of software engineers or something. Just I scrolled, before 12th, just I scrolled on internet or something like that. But I only got a private college like Manipal. So my parents were like, no, you have to take 1 year drop and then go for
Yeah.
like good college for engineering. We will not spend so much of money. But I fought a lot with them. No, no, I don't want to get drop, or I don't want to take a drop, because the COVID time is here. We don't know how much time I'm going to study at home. I'm going to waste my time procrastinating. So I had a lot of fight with my father and my mother, and I don't know why I did, but it got fruitful only now I realize. So I fought a lot and took Manipal, which was against my parents. They went to the college, saw the college environment, and they were like, okay, when she's saying, then let's believe on her. And after entering to the college, my father just said that I have to see you in Microsoft. I don't know how, but I have to see you. And then I was like, this, let's see, whatever, we'll see if it is going to happen or not. After surfing a lot, that in our college on campus there is an option that we can get into Microsoft, but as a technical as consultant, as a technical consultant role, which offers you around package of 9 to 10 lakh. So they provide summer internships and then full time opportunities. So I was so sure from the day one that my father has said I have to get into Microsoft because I have fought for this college and I only have this option. So I was so focused to prepare myself for that company and for that job role, that after getting into Microsoft, I'll switch to anything, or that after getting to that position, I'll switch to. So my day first was my journey towards coding was my father's pressure. So I took Microsoft, like I contacted with the people who were from our college to that role and who gave interviews and all. So I got connected with them. And there was one of my friend who was from the same city. So he was a senior to in that college, and I took help from him, and he really helped me a lot throughout my journey. So he explained me how to get to that. I also connected with the Microsoft people and also to other companies people through LinkedIn. He said to maintain a LinkedIn account and resume building and how everything works. So I took a lot of help from my seniors, and directly got my friend circle in a senior section, not in my batch. So my best friends are really from 1 year. They are 1 year elder than me, and they were seniors. So I would suggest that this really helped me, that at first you should be friends with your seniors. Like, try making friends who are your seniors, even your roommate or someone who is just like if you are going into first year, your friends should be second year, third year, so that you get help directly from them, because they have already experienced that 1 year. Rather than if you ask help from your batchmates, they are also suffering with that to know what to do. So that was my first step towards it.
Okay. So that was it was pretty like a deja vu for me because one of my friends he recently gave a podcast with me. So she also got an internship in Microsoft, and she said the same thing. Like her father was really instrumental in helping her secure an internship. So that was really cool to hear because it felt like that something that I've heard before, where the parents actually
Before.
help out in getting the internships. So I like the fact that you were honest with yourself because I think people should learn from that because after maybe not getting a good college after 12th, people do think about that option of maybe should I take a drop? And what I've noticed, I'm not sure if the stats back it or not, that most of the people that take a back, they either get the same score or it's a score that is way worse than what they got in the first attempt. So I think from that, what folks can learn is that you have to be honest with yourself. Like you have to be able to gauge whether you're fit to take a drop or in whatever decision you're taking, like in whatever stage of your life. I think that is something that we could learn from that. So now that you said
Sure.
you got to know your seniors and you got help from them, I'd like to know what is the biggest advice you got from a senior, or is there some sort of advice that you remember? Because people usually have this one or two seniors who gave them really life changing sort of advice that really helped them achieve good in their career. So do you remember anything like as of now that this senior gave me this tip that really stuck with me?
Uh, I think everyone gets this advice, but I took it to my heart that you need to be very consistent in whatever you are doing. Like, even if you're doing, like, whatever you do, like, even if you dance, you have to be consistent daily, because if you skip 1 day or 2 day, you are going to, your body can get lethargic. And similar with coding or maths, that even if you skip 1 or 2 day, you just may skip something. So even if you skip 4 5 days, but if in 2 to 3 months you skip for 4 days, it's okay, but you need to be consistently working for that goal. So this was the advice given by my senior, and I took it to my heart that yes, he is definitely right. And whatever I do, even if I code one piece of code daily, it's going to add value, and it's definitely going to give me outcomes. So this is one piece of advice. And I also advise people that whatever happens, even if you don't brush that day, just do one question. So yeah.
Yeah, that also helps out. I think I was recently seeing Michael Phillips also mentioned that he didn't have zero like off days. So like if you want to achieve something like that, so he was tired like around 100 other days, so he didn't feel like doing anything, but he still got up. Like you mentioned that even if you don't brush, do like one question or do whatever sort
Oh,
of.
he said that.
No, he didn't say that exactly. I was just saying, like you mentioned that, like you should work out towards your goal every day, even if it's doing
Yes.
small task every day. So, like, what were your struggles early in DSA? Because in DSA, people sort of lose consistency. Even that's even happened with me. Like last year, I was pretty consistent for like maybe 60 to 70 odd days, doing one or two questions daily. But then after that, there was sort of a 1 2 month gap, and then you sort of you forget concepts. Like you
Mhm.
know the problem, you know you've done it before, but the logic doesn't strike that I'm supposed to do this or I'm supposed to do that. So in DSA, I just wanted to talk about how did you approach DSA, and is there some special advice that you have about DSA, just about solving problems and sort of getting an understanding where you can understand what sort of data structure you have to use and what sort of approach you have to use straight by maybe looking at the question that you have in front of you.
So, like, firstly, the problem comes with everyone, which you have. So that problem came with me as well. So at first my cousins who were already software engineers suggested me that like try to draw that question, how to solve that question. First try to draw it in my initial days when I couldn't understand the question as well. So in initial days I used to draw the questions, and after that eventually practicing and like consistently practicing, I got the questions, like I got the concepts. And I got the opportunity of interviews and online assessment at a very right time, where I was indulged in DSA a lot. Like I was doing DSA questions 3 to 4 hours daily, and I was really focused towards that. One thing which I would like advise people, that everyone knows, also like everyone knows that we have to do DSA, but they are not able to. So they need to understand that I told myself that there are some energies which don't want you to do DSA. So I made myself that everyone wants that you don't do DSA. That's why you're not able to do. So I used to like say this to me, that no one wants you to do DSA, and you're not going to get into company. And because of that, it hit me so hard that, oh my god, there are some energies and they are just pushing me back to from DSA, and I have to do that, and I have to prove them that they cannot do anything, that those energies cannot do anything with me, and I have to do DSA. So this power, like from this is because of the mindset. If you are really focused and you really want that money, you will do that. You have to do that. That no, I just don't want to be here. I want to get out of this place, and I want to earn my own money. And you need to show your passion towards whatever you are doing. So while doing DSA, and when I am not consistent for 2 days, like I'm laying in the bed, then suddenly something hits me, like this is what the energies want, that they want you to lay back, and everyone wants you to lay back, and don't want DSA. So I think if you have a clear goal, that sometimes what happens, like there are students who are doing DSA, and they are annoyed of DSA, and then they switch to, no, I will be doing masters now, this is not my cup of tea. And then while preparing masters, they will be thinking, no, the masters nahi, I will go back to DSA. So you need to be very focused, ki I want placement, I want to do business, I want to do whatever. Their goal has to be very definite, and first achieve that, then think about anything. It's like some of your friends might be doing some startup, and then you get fascinated, oh my god, he's doing his own startup, I should also do that. Why will I be doing some job for another company? So in our age, we get influenced very easily by our friends or something. So you don't have to get distracted from your goal. And second thing, like for DSA, I would suggest that focus on one sheet. Like what happens in initial days, we do arrays, linked list, and
Yes.
then some of our friend is doing, maybe we can say, other sheet, like sheet 1. I was doing sheet 1, and some other friend is doing sheet 2, and he says this sheet is very nice, and I my all concepts got cleared. And then you leave that sheet 1 because he said that, and
Yeah.
then you start doing sheet 2, and now you are doing arrays and linked list. Now you are stuck in the loop of arrays, linked list, and you are not completing an entire one sheet, and your efforts are only with arrays and linked list. That is the reason, because most of the people end up just knowing about the initial DSA questions, and they don't actually stump on the questions which really make your logical development. So this is the only problem. So I would suggest that even if you have took any of these sheets from the market, this industry, just try to complete that course. Don't leave that course midway because someone said that this is not good. Just complete and have faith that this question would also add up value, and complete that entire series. Don't skip, or don't like change, keep on changing sheets. So these are some advices which I would be giving, which I followed during my uh, you know
Okay.
DSA journey. Yeah.
So the mentality thing was pretty interesting, and I'll just like try to summarize what Diksha said because there's a lot of advice that she gave, particularly focusing on DSA. So first of all, the mentality thing that she mentioned, and I've seen a lot of sports person also they do that where they play with their ego because to do something, that's also a way to do it. That you just sort of try to play with your ego. You just trash talk with yourself. Like we see in sports that you trash talk with the person in the opposite team, but you can do that to yourself as well, and that would really help you. Like it helped Diksha, where she was thinking that people don't want me to maybe do DSA or do some sort of work. So that was the first main tip. And second thing that Diksha mentioned was that being consistent, and I think I would 100% agree on that. Because with DSA, it's important to stay consistent, because around the interviews, you should be in that mindset where you're actually solving DSA questions. So you're in like the correct frame of mind. And I think the third tip that she said was follow one sheet. And that's also really important because, like she mentioned, there's a lot of influence. You get influenced by friends, you get influenced by maybe some influencer out there. And everyone's journey is unique. So you can't really keep on getting influenced by everyone, because everyone has a different journey, everyone has a different background. Some people want to go for placement, some people want to go for masters, some people are actually really interested in startups and they have some sort of idea. That is why they're jumping into that. So don't follow the bandwagon, you can build your own journey. So like basically stick to one sort of goal. And for masters and DSA, I think for like gate and all of that, I think you could try to do it in parallel, due to the fact that that also has C++ and basic concepts of DSA. So if you're solving DSA, you'll anyways be able to solve those basic theory sort of questions where you're given a code snippet and you're asked some sort of question related to that. Now that we've talked about DSA, I wanted to talk about the interview process at Atlassian and Microsoft. Like I think people can check out the Microsoft podcast. I'll attach the link for that, so you'll get a clear understanding about the Microsoft process. So Diksha, it would be great if you can talk about maybe Atlassian's process, and you can also mention Microsoft's process if there's something different maybe in your interview. But I'd want you to maybe focus on Atlassian so people get an idea about that as well.
So, after completing my second year, in the months of the summer vacations like June, July, we have multiple options for next year summer internship placements. So, in that time only, we all got, like all the girls got that Women in Tech program for Atlassian. So, Atlassian for summer internships, off campus opportunities only for women, not for boys. For people like the boys, like boy for boys, there is on campus opportunity for them. So they have a different hiring process. I will be explaining for my so we gave all the girls were eligible to give the online assessment for the same, and after completing 3 out of 4 questions, you are going to get an interview call. So after 1 month, you will be getting the results that your interview is after 1 month or maybe 15 days or 20 days. My interview was just after 1 month after the results were declared. So I had enough time to prepare myself for the interviews, like the communication skills and personality development skills, how to speak in the interview, how to answer them. After 1 month, I got the interview cleared, and that at the same day, after 2 hours, after 5 minutes, sorry, after 5 minutes, I had my second interview. That was a managerial behavioral round. So after clearing the managerial behavioral round, my selection was done at the same day. So this was the entire Atlassian internship opportunity. After completing the internship and completing the task, I received the PPO like last year. So
Okay.
yeah, this was
So
the entire process.
okay. So was there some sort of college restriction for the Atlassian thing? Like, do you have any idea about the criteria? Because it's off campus for women, but do you have any idea about that? Was it uh, like only eligible? Are you only eligible in some colleges, or is it like an open sort of thing?
It
For
is open for everyone. I think it might be some branch specific
okay,
thing that only EC students like CSE, and EC students are eligible. I'm not so very sure of that, but every college is eligible and you must have 7 CGPA. So I think that is a decent criteria for all the women. So every girl should try
yeah,
out this one.
yeah, and that also gives a lesson that at least maintain your CGPA a bit, because sometimes the CGPA cutoff also fluctuates. Like it was 7 and
Yeah,
some.
but I think 7 CGPA,
Yeah.
7 CGPA is a decent CGPA to maintain, I guess. It's
Yeah,
easy to maintain 7, maybe.
I mean, it's easy to maintain 8 plus as well. But I think for most
Yes,
people,
exactly.
it's not some sort of rocket science. It's easier than
Hmm.
during the internships. But I think you should also maintain that. It can't be that like you're good with DSA, you're good with projects, and like your CGPA is a 5 or a 6. That can really be a good case. Because even if when you have the skills, they'll have some sort of criteria. Like each company has a different criteria. So I'll attach maybe
Hmm.
a link for that Atlassian thing where people can check out the criteria for that. What was your learning maybe or from the behavior round or the interview round? Because the first round was primarily DSA, correct? The online.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
yeah, it would be nice if you could tell some specific details, maybe about a bit about the DSA round and what were you learning from, or how was your experience in the behavior round and the other interview round that you had?
Like if you surf on the internet, which I did as well before preparing for, because I was also preparing for the second round at the same time, because I heard that it happens just 10 to 15 minutes after, so you don't have any time to prepare for the same. So I was parallelly preparing for behavioral managerial round, which is said in Atlassian. uh, if you surf on the net, you will find that it's one of the toughest behavioral and managerial round in any tech company. So they take it very seriously. I was asked around 10 to 15 questions which were related to my behavioral round. So I learned, I prepared a lot for that, because every senior suggested me that prepare for behavioral round as well properly, so that you don't have to think during the interview. So they really want spontaneous answers and realistic answers. So yeah, I prepared a lot for the same. So if you are asking for the learning which I had during the process, because I think I was really well prepared for the behavioral round, that whatever the question was asked, I kind of knew it before. So how to crack this thing? Try to connect a lot. If you have if you have an interview schedule, and you if you have connections in on LinkedIn from the similar company, try to ask them directly that what kind of behavioral run questions were asked. Rather than sending them a long message, you can cut short to your question and ask them out that I am this and I have my interview, and how to prepare for behavioral round. So I collected around 25 to 26 questions from all of my searching, and there were some common questions, so I cut through. I got 15 to 16 questions from the internet and from my LinkedIn connections. Also there were 12 to 13 questions which was shared from Atlassian as well, that you have to prepare your behavioral round in sort of this manner. So around I got in total 30 questions from my research and as well as from Atlassian. Now I framed good answers for the same for the questions, like in the manner of star methodology. If you have heard about it, have you heard about star methodology? Okay, so it would be a new thing for audience also, that you have to, whenever you are answering your question to any interviewer, rather it be technical or like behavioral or managerial round, if some situation based question is asked, then you have to answer in a star methodology, and that is situation, task, action, and result. Now what is situation? That if you have been asked any question, then you have to tell which situation you were in. Like if you made any project, let's say fake news detection. So why did you if someone asks about this project, so you need to answer in star. That is, you thought that there are a lot of fake news being populated on WhatsApp or on social media. That was the situation which you encountered, that this needs to be treated. And task is that which kind of task did you assign yourself. That is, I assigned myself that I have to reduce this fake news, and I have to detect the fake news from the populated data. So this was the task assigned, and that I will use this learning algorithm and something like that. Then actions is that, after assigning the task, and what actions did you take. Like first you plan out and how much actions did you take. to it. And what was the result, or what was the outcome? So you successfully made the fake news detection, and this much accuracy it was giving, and this solved the problem. So what was the impact? So you need to every time answer in star methodology, whichever question is being asked in your interviews. So if whatever a question is, that you need to answer in situation, task, action, and result. So I learned about this process as well. And before giving these interviews, I also uh, practice a lot on mock interview websites like Pram. If you note down for your audience, like PRAMP, that is the website where you can practice your behavioral round easily, without cost, and without any, and it doesn't cost anything. So you can practice over there. I practiced a lot, and there is a real person sitting and taking your interview.
Okay.
So there's no AI involved in that. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'll share the link to that so that people can check out that platform, because with AI, I know a lot of people take different sort of advantage in India. So yeah, for the folks that want actually a one-to-one interaction, I think that would be better, because some people they're not able to give their best to AI because they want someone at the other end who's really giving
Yeah,
feedback. So
feedback as well.
so what were the rounds in Microsoft? Like, it would be good if you could just maybe tell the audience the rounds in Microsoft as well, and if there was anything different from Atlassian's process.
So for me, I applied directly from the career portal, through Microsoft career portal. And after applying, I think I applied in the month of July, and I got I was selected for, my resume was selected, and this result came out in the month of September. And in the month of September itself, I had my online assessment, which was a bit easier than Atlassian's
Yeah.
online assessment. I had two questions, and I guess they were pretty easy. And someone who has done DSA for around 6 months can easily crack those online assessment questions. So they were not tough. After completing online assessment, after 1 month, I had my interview for Microsoft as well. So completing the first round, I had solved two questions, which were asked by the interviewer, and some sort of project related questions was being asked. But as my friend said, that they also had some questions related to SQL queries, or more in depth knowledge of some like operating system and RDBMS kind of questions, which were related to our subjects, but not me. After clearing this first round of interview, after I think 2 hours, I got HR round at the same day. Um, in that HR round questions, that is techno managerial round as
Yeah.
far as I remember. So it is technical plus HR round. So I was asked technical questions related to system design, which I was not familiar at all with that. But what I thought, that that interviewer also knew that I don't know system design, but he wanted to test me. If some system design questions is being asked to her and she has not studied it yet, how would she answer? So like directly saying no to that question, I creatively answered that question to him, and he was impressed about that, the fact that she doesn't know system design, but she is trying to answer the question even if she is not aware of it. So you need not to say no, and you should directly take some 2 to 3 minutes, take time, take pen and paper, or whatever you can think at that moment. And luckily, whatever I answered was correct. So I had my luck also at that time. So nowadays the system design questions are being asked a lot to even second year questions, second year students as well. So you need to be prepared with around like 5 to 6 pages of system design questions, high level design. I guess that would work fine if you are preparing for any interview. If you are a third year student, like just completed your second year and you're giving interviews, just get a brief of system design. And yes, and then manager level questions were asked, and I got the selection after like 15 to 20 days for
Okay.
that.
Okay, so the main difference probably was the system design part. So you should also study that because it's asked in a lot of companies nowadays. So you can study the different design patterns that are out there, proxies and things like that. So now that we have talked about the entire process and talked about DSA and all of those things, I think we just forgot one main thing: projects. So do you have any advice related to building projects, and how should one just start off with learning new tech so that they can build some cool projects?
So, while applying to like internships or placements, many students think that they need to um, mention outstanding projects, which is like very unique. And if that's not you're not going to get selected. I think that's not the case, because at after completing second or third year, their main focus is that the student is more explored towards like many domains. He or she should know about the back end, the front end, how database connectivity is there, and how ML algorithms are being connected to some projects. Like the basic knowledge of each and every domain that an entire project can contain. Like if you see a project, so you need to know about the project's back end, front end, database connectivity, ML connectivity, or like each and every part of it. That is the first thing which I think interviewers want to know, that he or she is familiar with any part. Like if we hire her or him, he should know about each and everything. So whatever work we give, he is a bit familiar with that. And second major thing they only look is that he or she has DSA or logical thinking skills. Because if logical thinking is developed in some student, they are so sure that it's easy for them to adapt a completely new domain. So they can build projects. They are so sure of that. So rather than just focusing, if you don't have any good project in your to put in your resume, you should focus that there should be, I think, because nowadays AI and AIML is in demand. So you should at least have one basic. If you don't know about ML, you should know about the basics of ML. And you should have one project of AIML, and second your domain. Like if you are inclined towards cybersecurity, it should have one cybersecurity project. Or if you're inclined towards web development, you should have that web development project. But again, if the project is very simple, you should mention all the aspects of it. Like you know about how you connect that database and fetch that database on the back end, and then back end to front end connectivity. Each and every part should be covered, so that you don't have to say that you don't know this part of the project. So you should know about it. So I think this is the basic thing that should be kept in mind, rather than just focusing that I need to make an unique project. You can also always mention that I made these projects for learning, even if there is some other project which is already in the market. But if they say that what is something unique, so you cannot just one element that is unique and say rest of the part I was learning.
Okay.
So you can say that, yeah. For projects, I would suggest that.
Okay, so in short, what Diksha is saying is you can have a couple of projects related to AIML and your domain, and you should know the projects thoroughly. So even if they're not unique, you can add a couple of unique features, but you should know them thoroughly. So you should know each and every step that is happening in the backend, just so that the interviewer knows that you've actually built the project and you've learned something new out of that project. So you don't really have to be scared that I have to have a totally unique project because there's a lot of people, so you can't really 100% have a project that is totally out of the box or something like that. But
Yes.
even if you have a normal project, you can enhance its features, and you should know everything that is going on in the project so that you can explain it to anyone that is asking anything about it. So Diksha, now that you've gotten two PPOs, it would be great if you could give some tips to the new folks that are going out for internships, because a lot of people that get internships, they're scared about PPOs and whether they'll get them or not. So yeah, what are some advice you'd have so that people can actually get PPOs in whatever companies they're interning for?
I think while like after getting the internship, while in the internship, everyone knows that they have to hard work, do the task they are given, but they lack sometimes some students can lack the fact that you should know how to advertise yourself in that company, because in corporate advertising and marketing yourself, your skills is a very prime thing which no one discuss. Like there were students who were more like intelligent than me, and they had a lot of questions. They also knew CP. At that time I did not
Yeah.
knew CP, and I was not familiar with that. So I was very scared that how will I compete with them, how will I stand out with them. But I did not focus on that part much, rather than I just wanted to know what thing relies in corporate, like how people be there consistently, and the people who are getting laid off, what is the reason. So I was behind that. And the first thing everyone knows that you need to complete your task, whichever it is it has been given. The other things which I have listed out, that you should have a weekly work log. That is, you should have a documentation where you maintain what you are doing on the daily basis, so that someone asks you out that what did you do the last week, what was your impact, what did you have, what did you matlab, what was your most of the time spent on. So you must have something to show them that even if you did not contribute a code part towards that project, you should have an answer that you were learning something to implement something some other day. So you should have a weekly work log for the same. And first thing, and second, you need to advertise yourself. Like, even if someone asks you what did you do, you shouldn't say that I just learned Java backend, I just knew it. You should be confident that I learned Java backend. Whatever you speak, you should be confident, yeah, that yes, I really learned a new thing, and now I'm going to implement that thing with the project, and I did not waste time. So in yourself you should be very confident while someone is asking you, because they are always judging you, whatever you speak, whatever you behave on what they are asking. After that, whatever new skill I learned, and which my team did not knew, because I had some project which I'll tell about the project which I worked on in Atlassian and Microsoft. So starting off with Atlassian, there were projects where I needed help, some software engineers who were outside our team and outside India. So some of the learnings which I had from them, I wrote it down properly, I documented it everything, and I shared in the team. So my team really liked the fact that she is documenting everything, so that if they encounter the same problem, they don't have to ask to that senior or to that person again and again. Rather than just if they search about this, the keyword of that project, or that problem, they would search her documentation and they can see that how to follow if someone is new in our project. So documenting each and everything which is unique, which you think that is unique, and sharing it like, hey, I made this documentation, hope you it helps you. Like I did this in a manager's there was a group of managers there was a team of another group of managers. So I messaged in that group as well that hey, it helps you. So they don't judge you on the basis that she's sharing in a manager's group. They also think that she's trying to help, and someone if someone is in need. So advertise whatever you learned, advertise your work, even if your other team members are not knowing what you're doing, because they might be having some other project. So you should have a one-on-one meet with them at least once a month, that yeah, hey, I want to know your experience about, I want to know about your project, and this is my project, this is how I am impacting my project and team. So these things contribute a lot. And you should have a daily meeting with your mentor, and you should have a bi-weekly meeting with your manager and other team members as well. So these things I think would really help you to get PPO.
Okay. So the main thing was documenting what you do and just sort of communicating what you're doing with people. So, like you mentioned, communicating on a weekly basis with your mentor and communicating with your manager and other people. And don't feel shy that they're my manager or something like that. Your end goal is should be telling them what you're doing, and they just so that they have an idea what you're learning in the internship, and just so that they're on track and you're also on track. because they can give some sort of
and always you should take feedback from each and every person and know about their experience, because this helps a lot for self growth. And sometimes, like, my other team members or other friends who were in different teams and different with working with different managers, they were so shy to tell them that I want PPO. I said, why are you so shy to tell that you really want PPO? It's okay. So whenever I had meeting with my manager, I was so sure that I want the PPO. Please suggest me or guide me that how can I get this. So my manager really liked that thing that she really wants, and she's openly saying that she wants it. So you should say that I want PPO and I want to be with your team and this company. What path should I follow? So these were something, few things which I think I'm an extrovert, and because of that it really helped me a lot.
Yeah, so yeah, for the introverts, I think they should learn a bit because there are a lot of people that I personally know. They're also like really shy. Even if they're doing something, they are not able to sort of tell people that what they're doing and things.
Yes, they are intelligent, they are hardworking, but at the back, they are like, if I ask them what he would say, at the last, that there is two choices only. They will take you or they will not. So you have to try everything to get into that.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped me a lot.
Okay. So that was really good advice for the new interns, and I think people will learn from that. And I wanted to talk about the goodies and all of that because a lot of people are really interested that suppose we get the job, the project, and all of that is fine. That what are the so-called perks? What sort of like do you get a PC? Do you get a Mac? There are a lot of people that I've heard like talking about that. So it would be nice if you could talk about that your experience professionally as an intern, like what sort of things that you got, and just to motivate folks for the folks that need that sort of materialistic motivation. And yeah, any sort of what was maybe the biggest lesson you learned over the internship that would really help others out.
Yeah. So talking about the perks, our batch of interns did not receive anything rather than just a bag and a laptop. But this year, interns have got, I think, bottles, t-shirts, pen, and like a proper headphone as well. We did not receive any headphone, like a boat headphone this time. That Atlassian interns have received. So you should really work hard because you receive the latest model, the highest latest model of Mac you get while working in Atlassian. So you should really like be
Yeah.
like passionate towards it, the internships, and you should be doing the essay because you need to get these goodies. And in Microsoft also we received a bag, just a bag. And if you're working in the Microsoft office, that is Hyderabad campus, is really very awesome. There are sleeping cells, there are a lot of foods, like unlimited food. Now they have Domino's as well in the office, so you have free Domino's and free fruits, free everything free. So the office is really nice. And they give you like, I don't think there are restrictions for having a lot of food there. And yeah, it's nice. And you get cab services. In Atlassian there is an additional service for cabs where they provide personal cabs for you. Like you just have to book from Uber like the normal you do, and you get the free of cost service of Uber there, and you have a personal cab rather than a van or a bus.
Yeah. Apart from the perks, you also have to work. It's not that they're just eating food and going home. It's not your typical college canteen or something like that. So yeah, thank you so much, Diksha, for sparing some time on this podcast. And is there some final message that you want to tell anyone out there? Anything that is left?
I think at last I would just suggest for time management, that is dividing your time with DSA, academics, and your domain, whichever you are doing. That is 60-20-20% ratio. That 60% of your study hours should be majorly focused on DSA, and then 20% on your academics, and 20% on your web development, ML, or cybersecurity, or etc. Any domain.
Yeah.
So this time management would really help you and be consistent. And otherwise take your health at priority, because if your health gets detained, you are not able to do the essay or web
And
development or any academics, and your CGPA also gets hampered. So your health should be your priority first, and then studies. That is my
okay. So thank you so much, Diksha. It was really great sort of getting to know about you and about your journey. It was really a cool podcast, and I think people will learn a lot because we even I think this is the first podcast where we talked a lot about the PPO and all of that, because in the previous podcast it's mostly been people that have gotten the internship, so they haven't really been to office yet. I think I've only done one or two podcasts where they're actually completed their internship, and I think it's the first podcast where someone got a PPO. So yeah, all the best for your future journey, and folks, you can connect with Diksha. I'll attach her LinkedIn profile. Do you have a top mid profile? I'll also attach that. If,
yes,
yeah, so I'll attach her
I have.
mid profile as well, and I'll attach other related links that are out there. So I'll attach resources, and I'll also attach the interview sort of things that she used, the sort of
Sure.
videos that she used. So yeah, thank you so much once again. It was great talking with you.
Thank you so much, Aparime, and I hope that all the folks get something through this podcast. And all the best to all of them, and all the best to you too as well.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for spreading these informations to people.
Okay.